So we are finally in My Hero Academia's all-out war arc, and it's starting off pretty heavy and pretty cool. Now currently, if you have been keeping up with the series up to its latest chapter, we all know that as of right now there are barely any heroes in Japan. A lot of them have quit or just flat out retired due to the events that occurred during the Paranormal Liberation War arc and how it's been affecting or has affected Japan and hero society in general. And right now our hero's best shot of winning this all-out war is to divide and conquer the villains. Now for today's video, I want to talk about a little theory I have of certain heroes that we have seen and heard in passing throughout the course of the My Hero Academia story, and how I think these heroes will come out of wherever they might currently be at and rise back into action to aid our heroes in the fight against All For One and Shigaraki. Of course, the heroes that I have in mind that would be making their grand entrances and I guess debuts, even though we have seen them before, would be Ida's family, Crimson Riot, and possibly Koichi from Vigilantes, which as of right now none of these heroes have showed up during this war. Now what really inspired me to really think of this theory, and I guess you could say my main evidence to support the majority of this theory, were the villains, and to be more specific, how Horikoshi during the Culture Festival arc through Gentle Criminal and his book of infamous villains had set up and introduced Destro and Oji Harima, two villains who, though had already passed away, both of them played a significant role in future arcs in the form of other characters carrying on their legacy, that being their descendants Redestro and Mr. Compress respectively. Basically Horikoshi foreshadowing things that were going to happen in the future with these certain characters. And seeing how Horikoshi perfectly foreshadowed these villains, I think Horikoshi might have foreshadowed the eventual return of certain heroes that have been mentioned and shown before in the series, but have never really made an actual appearance where they are fighting alongside our heroes or just interacting with them. And one of the first heroes that I think could make a pretty cool entrance in the all-out war arc is Crimson Riot. Now the status of Crimson Riot is pretty much unknown. It's never been confirmed whether or not he is alive and kicking. The only thing we know about him is that he was a hero from back in the day, as stated by Kirishima, which could mean anything. The guy could very well be retired for all we know, and given that he has been mentioned and shown on two different occasions through Kirishima via a flashback and him choosing his hero name to resemble that of his idol Crimson Riot, I do strongly believe he is alive and is just a retired hero who was active around the same time All Might was when he was on the road to becoming the symbol of peace. Remember, in Kirishima's flashback, the book that had Crimson Riot's interview in it was a book called 50 Great Heroes, and unlike Gentle's book being called History of Supervillainy, where it was more specific on it being more focused on past villains, Kirishima's book is a lot more vague on the time frame. Even All Might could be in that book for all we know, and as we know, All Might isn't dead. At least not yet. We also learned through Kirishima's flashback that Crimson Riot is a big inspiration and role model to Kirishima due to them both having very similar quirks, and more importantly, indirectly showing Kirishima through that interview to live life without regrets. He is also someone who is reckless and willing to put his life on the line to protect people because that's what he signed up for when he became a hero. And what better time to do that than now? It would be pretty dope to see Crimson Riot show up on the same battlefield as Kirishima. That way we could see the ultimate chivalrous team up between the two. This to me would be very fitting, not only for the story and what's going on with the situation our heroes are in, given there not being that many heroes in this fight against evil, but it would be very fitting in bringing Kirishima and his character development full circle in meeting the hero that truly inspired him the most, to show that he is truly living up to his hero name, Red Riot. For the next group of heroes that I want to touch on is the Ida family and how they could come into the picture. Now, My Hero Academia has this running theme of family throughout the series, from All For One and Yoriichi to Endeavor and Todoroki, and especially Ida and his family. Back around the beginning of the series, Ida had mentioned that he came from a renowned hero family where we saw Ida's grandfather, mom, dad, and brother all in their hero suits. Then we found out that Ida's brother Tensei, whom he looked up to greatly, ran a hero agency in Tokyo. Later on, Tensei had a run-in with Stain and became disabled after losing to him, which greatly affected not only Ida at the time, but also his mother, and most likely the rest of his family. So seeing as of right now in the All Out War arc, Ida is on the same battlefield as Todoroki in Kamino, Yokohama, which even though Kamino is a fictional location in My Hero Academia, Yokohama isn't, and in real life, Yokohama is a city located south of Tokyo. Given everything we know, I could see a scenario playing out where Ida and Todoroki are in a really tight situation where things aren't looking so good for them. The Nomu and villains are too much for Ida and the other heroes to handle, and Dabi is also giving Todoroki a really hard time. At that point, we see three blurs running into the battlefield, knocking back some Nomu as well as knocking out some villains. Then it's revealed that the Ida family, aside from Tensei of course because he's disabled, has come out of retirement to aid our heroes in winning this war. Knowing what happened to Tensei and seeing what happened to Japan and Hero Society after the Paranormal Liberation War, they couldn't just sit idly by and see what happened to Tensei happen to Tenya or worse. So they donned their suits once again to fight one last time to help put a stop to this evil. This to me would be an absolutely perfect and touching moment because we could see Ida take on this leadership role in leading the Ida family and living up to the name Ingenium. We could also see a pretty cool moment of Dabi seeing a family of heroes that just makes him extremely pissed to see because it'll further remind him of his family and how he didn't have that due to Endeavor rejecting him. Like I said earlier, My Hero Academia has this big theme of family, so this moment could inspire Todoroki on how he wants to save Toya to get to know him better. Now for the next and final hero, or I guess you could say vigilante, that I could see making an appearance would be Koichi, aka the Crawler, from My Hero Academia's prequel series Vigilantes. For Koichi, there isn't much I can really say since Vigilantes, like My Hero Academia, is coming to an end, and currently Koichi is in a massive battle against number 6. For all we know, Koichi could succumb to his wounds, thus giving us an explanation as to why he never shows up in the present day, and why in chapter 98 of Vigilantes it was said that his fight with number 6 was going to be the Crawler's final battle. But on the chance that Koichi doesn't die, I think it would be awesome to see an older Koichi show up on any of the battlefields. But I think the most fitting would be to show up wherever Deku will be at. That way we could see two main My Hero Academia protagonists of their respective series interacting with each other. And by the end of it all, it would be really cool to see Koichi get recognized as a true and real hero despite never officially becoming one himself. With that said, I believe it would be amazing to see these heroes make an appearance in the All Out War arc. I think it's safe to say at least one of these heroes might show up, but the All Out War arc basically just started, so we will have to wait and see what happens in the future. Let me know in the comment section below if this would be something that you would all like to see happen in the All Out War arc. Is there a hero that I didn't mention or forgot about that you would like to see show up in this arc? God help me if I see one of you comment saying Edgelord hero Odd Eye. Either way, let me know everything in the comment section below. Like always, thank you all for watching today's theory video. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to Detroit smash that like button below, as well as share this video with your friends. It greatly helps the channel. If you are new to the channel and you like My Hero Academia content, then be sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that notification bell to join the Kitoroki Hero Academia to become my hero. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.